Everyone knows how much money there is in law. That's why top lawyers cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's how an average citizen can sue a multinational company for millions. But if you want to get thousands out of winning a court case, you're going to have to spend thousands to achieve that outcome. Businessmen will tell you, you've got to spend to sell. Well, it's the same concept with law, and in criminal law, it's no different. But sometimes, no matter how much time and money you put into something, you might not always get the perfect outcome. And that's exactly what happened on the McMartin Preschool Trial, a trial that ended up being the most expensive trial in US history. But how did this case end up being so pricey? Well, now although these videos are usually quite lighthearted and are told in a joking manner, this video does go over quite a morbid subject matter, and there are some graphic descriptions told throughout, so be warned. Viewer discretion is advised. The McMartin Preschool was a family-run preschool located in Manhattan Beach, California. It was established by Virginia McMartin in 1956 and quickly became a popular school in the area. The preschool was respected in the area for the best part of 30 years, until 1983, when a parent of one of the children attending the school came out with some shocking allegations. Judy Johnson claimed that her son had been sodomized by a teacher at the school named Ray Buckley, who happened to be Johnson's estranged ex-husband. Buckley was Virginia's grandson and the son of Peggy McMartin Buckley, who worked as the school's administrator. After this initial allegation came out, a criminal investigation was launched by the police, and the parent of every child was sent a letter telling them to come forward if they think their child might have suffered from a similar experience. Immediately following the launch of this investigation, hundreds of children were interviewed by therapists and examined by medical experts. It was concluded that up to 360 children might have been sexually abused by staff at the McMartin Preschool. This included sodomy, fondling of genitalia, oral sex, and being forced to have their picture taken while naked. Many of these were outlined in the original letter that police had sent out to parents. However, of these 360, only 41 would go on to testify in front of a jury, as the other claims were seen to be either unreliable or insubstantial. One of the stranger areas of this case was its link to the then emerging theories of satanic ritual abuse across the country. Multiple children talked of witches and secret underground tunnels. Various excavations were carried out, but no evidence of tunneling was discovered. It's thought that these comments were just the overactive imaginations of the children, rather than evidence of more abuse. Judy Johnson, the woman who made the initial claims, was admitted to hospital with paranoid schizophrenia.
All she talks about is how the neighbors are trying to sexually molest her kids. What is it? Acute paranoid schizophrenia.
And later died of alcoholism in 1986, before the first of the two trials even went ahead. Her mental health issues were a major red flag in the case, with the defense using this as proof that many of the claims were made up. Virginia McMartin, Peggy McMartin Buckley, Ray Buckley, Ray's sister Peggy Ann Buckley, and teachers Mary Ann Jackson, Betty Rader, and Babette Spittler were all arrested on March 22, 1984, facing 115 counts of child abuse, later expanded to 321 counts of child abuse involving 48 children. However, the charges on Virginia McMartin, Peggy Ann Buckley, Mary Ann Jackson, Betty Rader, and Babette Spittler were dropped after a district attorney determined the children's testimony during the preliminary hearings was inconsistent, against these five at least. Peggy McMartin Buckley and Ray Buckley remained in custody awaiting trial, with Ray being denied bail, and with Peggy's being set to $1 million. Despite this, the first trial went ahead and lasted from July 13, 1987 to January 18, 1990. After 3 years of testimony and 9 weeks of deliberation by the jury, Peggy McMartin Buckley was acquitted on all counts due to a lack of evidence, and she also had her teaching credentials reinstated. Ray Buckley, however, was only acquitted of 52 of 65 counts, yet he was freed on bail after almost 5 years of being behind bars. The second trial lasted from May 7, 1990 to July 27, 1990. The prosecution failed to come up with enough evidence to convict, and thus the case was dropped, and Ray Buckley was never charged. Buckley ended up spending 5 years of his life in prison for a crime he apparently didn't commit. After all was done and dusted, the case ended up spanning 7 years and cost an estimated $15 million, making it the most expensive trial in US history. It's still unclear to this day whether any of the claims made against the McMartin Preschool were true. Due to children being very unreliable sources of information, it's hard to tell truth from fiction, and what was misremembered from imagined. We'll probably never know. The school has since been shut down and completely demolished, but this won't stop its infamy from living on.